All right, so this is for my newsletter recipients. This is for all the people who are receiving this newsletter that I'm sending out today. And so this video is current as of Monday, November 22nd. And I am just giving you an update on all the things that has been happening in my life for the past couple months. And so as you remember, if you're getting these newsletter email updates, the last time that I sent an update was around July. And so that's when I was speaking or teaching at a VBS at my home church, Lakeside Baptist Church. And so what I want to do with this video, it's a little bit longer than, or it's supposed to be a little bit longer than my normal Facebook update videos. And that's because I'm trying to basically get everybody on the same page from basically July until now, moving into December. So basically what I want to do is if you're watching this video, I want to bring us all up to speed as to where I'm at now in the language or the linguistics course, where I'm at now with speaking at different churches, my financial partners levels, my prayer partner levels, all these different things, driving out here on a motorcycle, all these things to basically consolidate everything and get everybody on the same page. Because with my emails, I haven't been as consistent as my Facebook group updates. And so that's actually what I want to do with my newsletter updates as well. What I want to do with my email newsletter updates is start to send them out every week. And so whereas right now my newsletters are pretty long and have a bunch of miniature updates inside, basically what I want to do now is do my newsletters just a little bit shorter, a little more compact, so that they're similar to my Facebook updates. And that way I can have a Facebook update and a email update as well every single week. And so, but like I said on the newsletter email, if that is too many emails for you and your account, feel free to unsubscribe. You will not hurt my feelings, but I know that there are people that just do email and would like to keep up with these on a weekly basis, because there's a lot of prayer partners that I have that are looking to pray 10 minutes each week. So I want to be able to update them with prayer requests and praise reports and different things every single week. As I move forward here in Missouri, Virginia, and then over to Indonesia as well. So that's kind of my goal, my intention of doing these videos. Basically, I'll upload them to YouTube, and then I'll move them over to the newsletter. So, but yes, so all of that just to say, let me just start from really July until now. And so for this video, after I spoke at that VBS, what I was doing is I was just finishing out a couple different, we call it partnership development. And so I was doing some speaking at different churches and speaking with different individuals and families just to see whether they were wanting to partner financially or just partner through prayer. And so we had some really good conversations along those lines with several different people. My financial support team, what it's looking like so far is that there's probably going to be 5 churches and then around 30 to 40 individuals / families. And so 2 of those churches are not finalized yet. So basically I have 3 churches that are supporting me or will be supporting me for sure. But then 2 of those are finalizing that process, and it looks very certain that those are going to come along as well. So after all of those are finalized and everybody is one of all 5 of those are my supporting churches, then I will sort of announce those, and everyone can know, like, these are my 5 churches that one is home church and the other 4 are supporting churches. And so that's what that's going to look like. And then I have around 30 to 40 individuals and families that are going to be financial partners as well. And then on the prayer partner side, right now it's looking like there are 43 prayer partners who are committed to praying 10 minutes each week. And so what I'm hopefully, and my goal is still to have that at 100 people by the time that I get to Indonesia. And so you could hear from me between now and when I go over to Indonesia to see if you maybe want to be a prayer partner that would want to pray for 10 minutes each week. And so That's something that I really need to hopefully get to 100 by the time that I get overseas. And so I'm hoping that will start to boost up here shortly. But yeah, like I said in the newsletter, come August, once August came around, I needed to drive out to Missouri. And so one of the things that I did was, well, first of all, I drove my Fiesta out here first. But then I was thinking that it would be good to have my motorcycle as well. And so what made sense to me was instead of driving the Fiesta back and then trying to drive the motorcycle, you can't drive both cars at the same time. So I flew back to Virginia, and then I decided to drive my motorcycle from Virginia all the way to Missouri because there were different things, because you can't just hook a hitch on a Fiesta. I mean, you can, but it's not very feasible. But so drove my motorcycle 2 days in the one full day of just full-on rain, and then another day of really bright sunny skies. So preparing that in a clothing sense was very difficult, but the ride was beautiful. Got to see basically the entire eastern side of the country, and driving a lot these past couple months. But it's been a very good time. So thankful to everybody that was praying for my motorcycle trip that I made out to Missouri. And actually here tomorrow, I'm going to be doing, and tomorrow, November 23rd, I'll be doing another motorcycle ride back to Virginia. And this time it'll be a little bit colder. And so, yeah, feel free to lift that up in prayer if you're one of my prayer partners, just for safety and also just for the sheer cold of it, because I'm going to be wearing so many layers of clothes, and that, that shouldn't be an issue, but the more of the fingers is what I'm worried about. But I have plenty of hand warmers and things like that. So, but yeah, so that was basically August, was driving the motorcycle out here to Missouri. And then the next big thing that happened was we started up the Linguistics Cherokee Practicum. And so what that is basically it's an 8-week course where you go down to Oklahoma. And in Oklahoma, we learned from different language speakers of Cherokee. And they tried to teach us how the grammar worked, how the phonology worked. Basically, we were doing linguistics on Cherokee with real Cherokee people. And that was the goal of that practicum. And it went really well. We just got finished with it here 3 days ago. We drove back on Friday, and we got done with our last language session this past Wednesday. And so that was a great course. I learned a lot. Learned a lot about how to interact with your language helpers. I learned that Cherokee was super difficult. We're definitely not fluent in that language, but it was a very humbling experience to just figure out just how complex certain languages can be, and Cherokee is definitely one of them. Learned a lot about team dynamics and how to work together as a team efficiently. Learned that communication is so important. Clear, concise, constant, consistent, all those words in terms of your communication is so important. And if you don't have an open line of communication, then it's very difficult to, things can get misconstrued very easily. And so it's very important to keep an open line of communication between you, your other team members, your leadership, and all these different avenues where you need to just constantly just keep throwing things back at each other, back and forth to make sure everything is lining up properly. And so tons of things that were learned here in this 8-week practicum. But for the students that are still here in Missouri, they are still having to do their grammar write-up. And so they've already done their phonology write-up. Now they just have to do their grammar write-up. So that's an amazing thing. It's an amazing feat, meaning it's very long. It's like over 100 pages long, and it's super extensive. So, but that is something that's still going to have to happen for the students who took it for course credit. I took it I was an auditor, and so I'm not required to do the grammar write-up. But definitely some amazing things that I learned while I was down there. And so yeah, from now until the end of December, basically, or the middle of December, I'm going to be going back to Virginia. Like I was saying, I'm going to be driving my motorcycle back to Virginia, and then there's going to be one more week of the linguistics course. One more week before I'm fully done with the linguistics course. There's a week called discourse analysis, and you're thinking, well, why are you going back to Virginia? Well, whenever the discourse analysis happens on the second week of December, I'll be going back to do that as well. But I'll just drive the car for that. But so that is basically to, as a linguist, you're analyzing someone as they're doing a discourse. So like what I'm doing right now, you'd be analyzing somebody's entire discourse, their entire like full paragraphs, full texts, everything like that. And so you're trying to, basically when you're translating scripture, you want to make it sound natural, you want to make it sound readable, like a good book would read. And so that's what discourse analysis is there for. And so that's basically moving it all the way up to now, where I'm going back to Virginia. I am going to be still speaking with different individuals, different families, in terms of support, because I'm not fully at 100% yet. It is pretty close to 100%, but yeah, that's probably going to be all of the churches. Except for maybe one. There might be one other church that could be a potential financial partner, but that's still tentative. And so, yeah, I mean, that's basically where we're at now. And thank you so much for all the people who are out there, who are financial partners, prayer partners, who are just constantly lifting these things up in prayer. I did want to finish one final thing that I got to do just, I think it was yesterday. Yesterday. I got to speak at a church in Hong Kong. And you might be thinking, how did you get into Hong Kong? Because there's a 3-week quarantine period in Hong Kong. But thanks to Zoom, I actually preached in Hong Kong just a day ago. And so I didn't have to get on any planes. I didn't have to get off any planes, and was able to preach at a church in Hong Kong. The church that I went to when I was an English teacher there in Hong Kong. So that was a super great experience. They took up a benevolence offering for me, and so I was super grateful for that experience. But anyway, there's a lot of things to be praying for. I put several things on that newsletter, and like I said, my goal is to shorten these videos to 5 minutes or less. This one was a little bit longer, obviously, because I'm trying to bring everybody up to the same speed or on the same page. And so thanks for watching through this if you did. And my goal is to just keep putting out weekly ones of these that are shorter and giving quick updates. So thank you so much for those who are praying, and I hope to see you next week.